Hello everybody, this is Father Trevor, and I am finally beginning to make some videos, and I thought, what can I start with? And I was actually scrolling through Verboom, it's a Catholic program that I have on my computer, and I ran into something called the Papyrus. And I'm like, hey, why not? And so, what is a papyrus? Well, it's basically thick paper, as what we would call today, that people in the ancient times used to write on, I guess, manuscripts, letters, whatever, daily stuff, right? As we would do with paper. And so I ran into a few examples of papyrus, especially with the gospel. And so I thought, hey, why not show everybody a couple of examples of what the Bible looked like back then. And we all should know that it was basically scrolls, right? We hear Jesus reading from the scroll, rolling up the scroll. Well, that's basically papyrus. And the papyrus is actually a plant also, what they would pretty much call a paper plant. And it's actually in the region of the Nile Delta in Egypt. That's where it's cultivated. And so anyways, I just thought to just show you a couple examples. And so the first one I'm going to show you is actually from the Holy Gospel of Matthew. And you'll see that it's actually in pretty good shape. Not the best, but it's a nice example, like a nice chunk of papyrus in pretty good shape. You can tell that there's some major pieces missing and some pieces in the middle, especially like right here, that's missing. Big chunk back here, down here missing, but they don't tell us what part of Matthew it is, but it is a nice example of a nice papyrus, intact, I guess, if you want to say it that way, of part of the Gospel of Matthew. Now, I'm going to show you another one of the Gospel of John, which is different. It's not as nice condition as you saw here with Matthew. So right here will be the Gospel of John. And you'll see this little chunk here. And so when they're putting all this together, they actually put it together like a jigsaw puzzle, right? Where they just take like a little tweezer or whatever, because if you touch that, it'll probably just crumble, right? And so they carefully placing it on a piece of big cardboard, whatever, they place it on, and they have to put it together, these little chunks together, and figuring out if this is part of it, if this is part of John, if this is part of Matthew, or if this is not even the gospel, right? And so you can see where the difficulty came in. The difficulty was when they were trying to put all this stuff together. And so that is the Gospel of John. Well, at least a little part of it, right? Last, I want to show you, it's not the gospel or from the Bible, but it is the oldest extant surviving manuscript of the Nicene Creed, and this is dated to the 6th century, and so you can tell that it's in rough shape, just like all the other examples that you can see on the internet. I'm pretty sure that it's all on the internet if you look up papyrus. And yeah, so you can tell that they didn't bring it in on a nice printed piece of paper, printed on a piece of paper from a printer like we see today. And so they would have to find all the pieces as much as they can and try to put it together like a jigsaw puzzle. And so anyways, I thought I'd just show you, and you can tell how faded it is too, right? Even if you know how to translate this, you're still going to have a hard time because you can barely see it. And so anyways, I thought, why not show everybody just some examples of how the Bible came from what we just saw to what we have. And it's pretty amazing of how many generations it took to get to where we're at right now, and how much time and effort the people, whoever put it together like the theologians or whatever put that together. So it took a lot of time and patience. Anyways, I hope this was enjoyable, and yeah, expect more videos, maybe something similar to this, just kind of popping up like, hey, look what I ran into. This is kind of neat, you know. And so anyways, you can look up Papyrus on the internet, and there's a lot more examples out there, and so I hope you do and kind of look into that. It's pretty amazing. So anyways, God bless.